divided by the starting cash we had, and that gave us a percentage of 10.13%. So how's it going? It's Rocky. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. And welcome to my content where basically my goal is to show you an experience or a journal of an average retail trader. So in my case, I do trade the micro e-mini futures, and my goal really is to show you an experience with a lot of transparency with it. It's not just all about the gains and losses here. It's all about really showing you some psychological aspects of it. But if, don't compare your level to my level because we're all in different stages. And what my hope here is either you pick up on my transparency of what it really takes to trade, or maybe you pick up on a bit of a base on my strategy and you can build up from that. Or really my goal is more on the personal finance side and the psychology side of investing. So what I'm doing right now, sure, you can call it investing, but I call it more as trading. So one day when you know that difference between trading and investing, I say you're already on the next level. So what I'm showing here is the hourly chart for the micro e-mini for the Dow Jones Industrial Average for week number 1. What does that mean? It means that each of these candlesticks represents 1 hour. So you can see here, I'm starting from Sunday all the way to Sunday, which will be tomorrow. So I'm recording this right now on Saturday at about 8:52 in the morning. So just want to do a high level summary of the trades that I did. Basically, beginning of the year, if you check out my content from last year, which is really last week, it was erratic trading. So you see here, I end up closing 17 contracts, and that's really the max that I can trade, and that's outside of my comfort zone. But with that trade, we did basically gain. It's more like recover some losses, but I consider it as a gain because of mark to market. We gained $1,504.86. But the two trades that I'm more proud of, I guess, are my usual trades. So my next trade here is again another long with 12 contracts, and it was a long position where we gained $295.42. And on our third trade and final trade for the week is with just 4 contracts, and that was a net profit of $212.64. So you see the key here, I'm more proud of my trades where basically they're more controlled and less contracts, as opposed to one that was erratic but made me more money. So here is where I'm trying to tell you that at this point, really, I care more about my process and getting the system right. And from there, you can just, slowly see your account grow and compound over time. Trade analysis that I'll do this week is on my last and final trade of the week, and that was 4 contracts where we earned $212.64 after commissions and fees. So with this one, basically before I go through what I look at when I do enter, so I do look at the 5-minute on the left and a 512 tick on the right. And before I go through that, let me zoom out on the 1 hour chart and look at basically the chart right here. So since I trade on the Globex, which Globex is when the US market is closed, that's when the Asian market and the European markets are open. That's when I trade because that's when I have free time. And again, that's one of the advantages of trading the futures, because it's almost open almost 24 hours a day. It's a bit of a pause right when the US market closed for roughly about an hour, but it's really the flexibility that I enjoy the most from trading the futures. So the reason that I was aiming to go long on this is if you look at how it closed on Wednesday. So on Wednesday, the Dow Jones Industrial Average hit a high, 36,832, and then Fed minutes came out and it dropped, more than 200-300 points. So let's just say at the peak of that, 36,832, at the low of after 3 hours, it was at 36,279. So, that's almost 500 points. So that's quite a significant drop for the Dow Jones Industrial Average for one day. And that's really one of the main reasons why I was aiming to look for a long position if I saw signs of it rebounding. And on the hourly, you can see, even though we're below the MACD, where it's still a risky move. Again, ignore everything on the right because I didn't see any of that afterwards. I was seeing it basically going up here, yeah, leaving the oversold area, and that's one of the keys that I look for on the hourly side. But really, going back to the 5-minute, this is what dictates when I do enter. So looking at the 5-minute here and the 512 tick, this is really what dictates when and why I do enter a trade. So if you look at the time base here, you can see that it was already showing some bullish signs as far as the candles go. And then on the stochastic RSI, we were on the overbought side, which is when I like to go long. And basically on the MACD, you can see now that we're above the zero line and I'm starting to see the divergence. Again, if you can't see the divergence from the lines, look at the histogram itself and you can see how that is definitely increasing. So if that histogram increases, that means the lines are diverging or going farther away from each other. Now I wait for some sort of confirmation from the tick base side. So I wait for both those signs to be showing me the same thing. So really you can see here that I waited until, again, we're on the overbought side around 11 o'clock here. And I waited for that divergence to occur. And you could probably ask me, why didn't I enter around 9 o'clock right here? And that's because, we were below the zero line, and it's always a bit of a risky move to go long when you're below the zero line. So I waited where it was closer to that zero line to give me a bit more of a confidence. So I just entered 4 contracts on this one. The average was 36,258. So I will draw that line because it'd be easier to visualize where exactly that is. So 36,258 is right here. So you see that white line there. And I'm going to draw it on the tick base as well so you can see that as a reference. Always great to be visual just to see what's going on. So as you can see from that entry, I was up for most of it. I did have a bit of underwater here around past midnight, but this is where it's just my style of trading now. Again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. You got to go with what you're comfortable with. But I go to bed, I place an OCO, and I protect myself. So I wasn't stopped out or anything because I gave myself some room, some breathing room on this. And you can see that didn't exit until 36,372. That would be the average from these 4 contracts here. And that occurred around 6 in the morning. And you're probably like, well, were you watching it the whole time? No, I don't, but I do have alerts. So let's say I'm above a certain level, either 50 points or 100 points above where I entered. I do have that alert, and that's when I usually wake up. So I'm a light sleeper, and this works with my style. So, don't try to copy someone else's style. Definitely learn from what you know about yourself, and that can really help you progress on your trading. So as you can see from the clock here, it's Saturday, January 8th, about 9 in the morning. That's when I'm recording this content. And I want to show you my account statement. And I believe in this transparency because first, it helps me keep track, really. Yeah, it keeps me accountable in a way. It also puts this extra pressure on me to do a little better. And I accomplished that essentially by showing you my results. And with this way too, it also shows you realistically how I'm doing with this journey. As again, an average retail trader, you can see what it really takes, and you can see that nice and slow also works. And my process is just a little different from the big personalities where you can see they have the really, really, really big gains in short amount of time. For me, it's more of a get wealthy slowly process, and I do it on my own time, and more of a passion, really, why I'm continuing to do this. So for the week, this is from Sunday, January 2nd to today, January 8th, and this is my cash balance. So with futures, it's a mark to market at the end of the market every time. So you don't have such a thing as an unrealized gain or unrealized loss. At the end of the US market, it becomes a realized gain or realized loss. And basically, if you look at the descriptions here, you can see I did not deposit or withdraw anything, and I did not have any mark-to-market profit or losses this week. So it's pretty clean. Good way to start 2022. And so basically, we ended the week at $21,844 or $884.44, and our starting cash was $19,871.52. And that gave us a total for the week of $2,012.92, which is quite a good way to basically start 2022. Anyway, with this total, if you were a 9 to 5 40-hour week, divide that by 40 hours in the US, that would have been hourly rate of $50.32. And of course, the statistic that I really like to look at to measure how I'm doing weekly is our percentage, where our total of $2,012.92 divided by the starting cash we had, and that gave us a percentage of 10.13%. So that's quite good, to be honest, and that compounds every week, right? So my reach goal is 10% every week, but really I'm happy with just 4 to 7% every week. So this is quite a good week to start with. Hopefully we can continue this momentum. Hopefully you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, please do like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please, write it down in the comments. I'll do my best to respond to them. And hopefully, you'll come back again on my next content next week. If you did not learn or, enjoy the video, well, hopefully you'll come check me out and next time and you'll learn something then. All right. Have a good one. Thank you.